It's Gretchen, Pawsom Fun and Frugal. Thank you for joining and watching this video. If you don't already know who I am, I've had a channel for I guess it's been about 4 years now. And it has been a very slow process of getting subscribers and views and people enjoying or even knowing if people are enjoying my videos. But the last couple days, a few days ago, I noticed that all of a sudden my subscriber count started to jump up all of a sudden, like faster than it ever had. And then I ran across a comment that said, great, the person really liked my videos, and that I had a great video up on cheap RV living. So if you're into van life and RVing and you know about Bob Wells and cheap RV living, and Brian, who helps him with the video, they do the videos, one or the other will do a video interview. And so apparently, unbeknownst to me, my interview that Brian did with me, and please excuse me, I decided to go ahead and jump on here, and I'm completely unscripted, so I'm gonna probably edit out some of this, but not all of it. So this is me, van lifer, like Santa Cruz. Everything's opposite in this. I have to get used to that. And chronic pain, learning how to, getting creative and figuring out how to travel and enjoy life in spite of my chronic illness and chronic pain. I have 2 small dogs. One of them has changed over the past couple years, so if you look into my older videos, you'll see a dog that's very different from the 2 I have now. I had a dog who passed away last year, a year ago, a little over a year ago, and we waited a few months and then we got a puppy, and that's Zenji. So now before we had Bodhi and we had Cersei, so a Pomeranian Corgi mix, and we miss him so much. He was such a great dog. Not to say any other ones, they're right here. I don't want them to think that how we treat our animals, that they're not great, and they are. Cersei's a very good dog. In fact, she's become a service dog for me, and we'll get into that later. Zenji is the new one in the family. He's been with us about a year. He's about 2 years old now. He's also being trained as a service dog, but his ability to be out in public is still in question. He's so overly friendly, or gets overly triggered, that it's very difficult to take him out. So I've gotten him a training collar. It's just a little beeper thing. So those of you who wonder, it's not a zapping thing. I won't do that to my animals. It beeps to let him know that he's barking and it's not okay. So he only has to wear it when we're going to be out in public, or when I know there's a lot going on with my neighbors and he might get overly triggered. He's very afraid of big dogs, basically any dog bigger than him, but he wants to be friends with every human and little dog that goes by. So that's the dogs. Used to be a cat. Actually, used to be 2 cats, Luna and Sparkle. Luna went back to live with my son. That was his cat I had for a while. And Sparkle passed away this year, the beginning of this year, unfortunately, while I was out at the RTR. Another story, if you want to know about that. But they are all featured in my videos and some of their own, many shorts on the animals. They're very funny and cute, so they have some of their own little videos. I believe Sparkle has a series where I was training her. I was leash training her because I was thinking I might start taking her traveling with me, but her health declined so that I ended up not being able to do that. But I had fun with the training, and she was able to go walk around much like the dogs do because she was kept inside. I had a catio out on my patio, but otherwise she was an indoor cat, and she would like to escape. So check out those videos because I talk about that there. um, so let's see. So I've been doing YouTube for a while. It's been very slow. I was just getting a bit past 500 subscribers. I was at 700 something like a week ago, and now I'm almost at 1,000. Just a few more people and I'll be at 1,000. It's so exciting. I'm just so excited, and I was excited to find my video up on Cheap RV Living and watch it and see what it looks like from an outside perspective. I thought it was a pretty good video. I felt like there was more things I could have shared, or maybe Brian didn't think, because I thought I shared quite a bit. I tend to, once I get comfortable talking to somebody, I kind of overshare a bit. Otherwise, I'm introverted. It takes me to get to know somebody and get comfortable. So I had met Brian at the RTR. He goes around and checks out rigs and kind of picks people out to interview. And he came and picked me out. And it didn't seem like he was completely certain that he would come interview me. But he called me a couple days later and or text, whatever. And we set up a day and time for him to do it. So he came out, and I'm glad that people got to see the cardboard cabinets. If you look in my more recent videos, some of those cabinets are gone. I kept the kitchen and redid that, so there's a whole series of videos, recent ones, where I've done van life makeovers. I think there's like 9 episodes. Uh, I I think I'm not sure if I finished the last one. I'll have to look. I'm losing track, and the excitement's got me sort of my brain going in 10 different directions. So yes, so I am very blessed and excited that Brian has put my video out there, and people have really enjoyed it and have come to my channel and have subscribed and are enjoying my videos. They're asking really good questions now, making very wonderful, kind comments. So thank you to all of you for doing that. That support means so much. I like knowing that some people are getting a benefit from my channel. I don't like to do much of anything that doesn't, I like helping people. And even though I'm an introvert, which makes that challenging to help people, but when I do see something that's important that really pulls at my heart, I really wanted to help. So I suffer with chronic pain. I was injured in 2016 at my job, a very odd, unusual injury to my thoracic spine, so middle back. I was already having some cumulative. Oh, and the reason I'm going to share this with you right now is one of my new subscribers has asked me if I would share how I've discovered and been diagnosed with what they're now saying fibromyalgia, and I'm not a medical professional. I'm only speaking from my experience and what I have heard from my doctors. So this is not anything official. um, you need to talk to your doctors about it. But what I've been led to understand is that fibromyalgia is like an umbrella term for a bunch of different little, so I have thoracic outlet syndrome or thoracic pain syndrome in my middle spine from the injury, but I was already accumulating cumulative damage in my lower back, in my wrists. So I have lower back issues, I have carpal tunnel, I have arthritis. I before that I already had been getting treated for a low thyroid. Hashimoto's hypothyroid is a type of low thyroid disease that it's an immune system issue. And a lot of what I've been led to understand is a lot of these health issues, like the ones I have, are connected to your immune system. And, you know, low paying jobs with, no ergonomic benefits. So I worked at desks and typed and sat at the wrong chairs and the wrong desks. Even like when I got injured, I had been requesting proper ergonomic equipment through my union representative who encouraged me to do that, but there were a lot of delays in getting that equipment to me. So it was not provided in time to prevent this injury. So the cumulative damage that was happening with my spine, so the idea that my chiropractor likes to sort of tell me, and this isn't verbatim or anything, but my understanding is that my spine has spent so much time getting pushed out of alignment that my nerves have been damaged, possibly damaged, my circulation, all of that, which then set me up for the day that I got injured. My body was basically saying, that's it, we don't have any more adjustments to make. And I was pushing a large kid. I worked at a school district. I pushed a large kid in a wheelchair. He was wriggling around in the chair in pain, poor guy, and had his feet out in the stirrups. And I went to put him into my health office. I was a school nurse. They called me a health clerk because I'm sort of like the assistant to the actual nurse. And as I went to push him in there, he stuck his foot out, and I was trying to correct the wheelchair, but I turned it in such a odd way, I guess, that it snapped something in my back, and I literally, like, my whole back just seized up. I had to hobble in to put him in there and tell my supervisor that I think I hurt my back. I was in a lot of pain. There's a whole nother story to that. It didn't go very well. I didn't get the support I felt I needed. I had to get an attorney, file workers' comp, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I could barely make it home that day. And from that point on, my health issues just sort of started stacking up. Like, I didn't know much about anything else going on in my body except for the thyroid. I also have had a history of migraines, like severe migraines, but those I had gotten under control with my diet and lifestyle changes. So I was at the point where I really wasn't I was still getting very mild occasional migraines, but not like I had been prior to that. So I was thinking I was finally feeling really good. Sorry, moving around my legs. And I I hit 50. I thought I was doing great. I remember I even posted something on Facebook about feeling the best I had been feeling for a long time in my life, because I was finally some years without the severe migraines. So, and then I went back to work, and I was at work the first week of school, and that's when the injury happened. So it changed my whole life. And I can get more into it if people want to ask me questions. And I would do a live, but I tried doing lives 3 times when my channel was really small, and I think two out of 3 times one person showed up in the live and didn't stay. So it was kind of pointless to do it. So if any of you would like me to go live and think you would attend that, let me know. I'd be willing to do that. I could answer more questions. We could hang out, have coffee in the morning or tea. Like right now I have a little bit of green tea going on right now. And I don't have sponsors, but you're probably going to wonder, oh, where's that cup from? This is a Crow's Nest is a very popular restaurant here in Santa Cruz. Yeah, sorry, wrong side. So I live in Santa Cruz, and they give out birthday cups whenever you go in there and it's your birthday. You get a free cup. There's usually something in it. One time it was, I guess it was coffee, but another time it was something else. Because one birthday was in the daytime, another one was in the evening. So anyway, I could go live. I could do a live chat for a while if anybody's interested. I kind of feel like I need to know if enough people are interested. If more than one person wants to, I'll give it a try. And it would be fun to do it when I hit 1,000 subscribers. That would be really fun. So anyway, that's me. I have the 2 dogs now, Cersei and Zenji. I have a variety of videos that I do. I do van life. I do some cooking, and I make some really unusual foods because part of my management of my chronic pain, some of the ways that I manage it are with diet. I was already gluten-free, and couldn't have things like MSG or nitrates. That's what helped get rid of the migraines, is canceling out junk food. Your standard, like the chips that start with a D. I don't want to get in trouble for not trying to trash anything. It's just my body couldn't handle that stuff. And I mean, come on, most of the junk chips and stuff, they have a lot of junk in them. You don't know what the ingredients, you know how to, I don't understand the word. You probably don't want to eat that. Anyway, that's another subject. I do have a certificate in nutrition, so that has helped me with the diet adjustments. I do a lot of YouTube to learn how to cook things that I want to make, but then I usually end up modifying the recipe for myself. So that's how I manage it. So let's see. So the question the person had was more about how was I diagnosed, and I started out with the injury and the thoracic pain. So once they started looking at my records and seeing that I had this collection of disorders and illnesses, I had already researched, and I was asked. I said I've been reading a lot, researching a lot about fibromyalgia, and they weren't quite sure. But then I developed something called. First, we thought it was POTS. Don't ask me to posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Oh, I remembered it. But we looked into it further, and after certain tests and evaluations, they didn't think I had the POTS. That's more of a cardiac thing, and all my cardiac results came back great, so it wasn't that, but they did say what I have is, so they diagnosed that, the faint, so what it is if I stand up too long and stand still too long, even if I don't lock my knees or anything, I will get dizzy and pass out. And it depends on what I've eaten that day, how much stress I'm under. I have anxiety and depression also, mainly since the injury and having to just the challenge of adjusting my life to not being who I was before I got injured has been pretty rough. So all those things, so the anxiety and the temperature I'm in, if it's too hot or too cold, and I'm standing around, I can get very dizzy. That's what the Cersei that's been trained, because she actually started sort of noticing, and she would come and bug me, and I couldn't figure out why. I'd be upset about something, and there she was, you know. So she responds to my change in, so what they're saying, sorry, that's part of it is I have brain fog, and it's hard to sort my thoughts out sometimes, what I'm thinking, I want to say, and I think I'm starting to get a little tired of all the talking. So diagnosing. So they looked at the fact that I do have these fainting spells. They didn't find it to be anything heart related, so they think it's circulation and blood flow, because what happens is my blood pressure will drop really low, my heart rate will jump up, and then I get dizzy and pass out. And it's similar to POTS, but it's different. It has to do with the vagal nerve, and my blood flow regulation is not right, so the blood flows too quickly to the lower part of my body, more quickly than normal. So I have to be careful now about, how long I'm standing in a line, or that I keep moving around, or I have a place to sit down, or I just time my tasks so there isn't those challenges of standing around or whatever. So all of those things, anxiety, depression, chronic pain, thoracic pain. And my hip, during part of my physical therapy, I ended up, I guess, busting the bursal sac in my hip, the cushion between your hip bone and your pelvic bone, that I developed a leak in that. I blew that out or something. And so I also have hip issues. So all of these health issues combined kind of fall under fibromyalgia. And they all cause chronic fatigue and brain fog, so that there's days where I can't do much of anything. And there's days where I feel pretty good and I get a lot done, but I have to be careful not to overdo it, because then I have flare-ups and I'm really down for a day or two. So my life is sort of dependent on what my immune system's doing that day, like how much is impacting my energy and my immune system and my stress levels. So they just sort of use fibromyalgia as a sort of blanket term for everything that's wrong with me. And so that's how that was done. So I hope to the subscriber who asked me that this is helpful and I'm not going too long. um, so this has actually been, looks like almost 30 minutes. So anyway, this is sort of like a reintroduction of me to those of you who don't know me and haven't been following my channel, and answering some questions. And another subscriber asked me, and I'll address this really quickly, the things that I love about van life. I love the freedom of traveling, not worrying about hotels, whether they're clean, or I can have the dogs, or how much they cost, because I can't afford those really. And my van is set up, like I'm just more and more trying to find more ways to customize it to help me do less digging and less reaching, less bending, less whatever. I'm getting really close to being able to literally just sit on the bed in the back of my van and just get whatever I need, water, cook, do whatever, and then lay down. And otherwise I'm just in and out of the van. So I love that I have been so creative to create this van with the customization I've done. It's a no build, but it's customized to me and to fit the dogs. I still have another challenge I'm going to try to work out, and I'll make a video about it, about how I want to keep them warm, because I'm trying to have them not sleep with me, but that means they're in the front where it's cold. So I'll go over that in another video. And you can ask more questions, and I will, try to work those into my videos. But that's me, Gretchen, Pawsom, Fun, and Frugal. The possum. My name came up because my dogs are so awesome. So I thought, awesome possum puppies. I like to have fun as much as I can, whether it's with the food or, and I have tiny home living because I live in a tiny mobile home, and budget friendly stuff because I'm poor and I make use of some great resources. So check out all those videos. Find ones that you might enjoy. I have there's a couple of, we got my grandkids in there somewhere, here and there. But yeah, so if you're new to my channel, please subscribe if you haven't, and hit the like and share button. Like, share, hit the notification button. And if it's not for you, that's okay. And I only ask that if you leave comments that they be kind and helpful. And I will hopefully see you all in the next video.